Hello, dear friends. What you deny submits you. What you accept transforms you. Opinion piece. The end of shadow. New paradigm. Mayan New Year. Another solar storm. Spain stops evictions. The euro falls sharply. China stops buying gold. Trees for future in Africa. Unique moment in history. Kachina Blue Star prophecy. How to manifest heaven on earth. Sanctions break the financial system. Let's start. Those who don't learn anything from the unpleasant event of their life force the cosmic consciousness to reproduce them as many times as necessary to learn what shows the drama of what happened. What you deny submits you. What you accept transforms you, said Carl Gustav Jung. It is not possible to awaken consciousness without pain. People are capable of doing anything, no matter how absurd it may seem, to avoid facing their own soul. No one becomes enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making darkness conscious. By turning on your inner light, you discover that you had a shadow tied to yourself. And by losing yourself in the shadows, you discover that your inner light shines like no other. Jung added, shadow is equivalent to darkness, that is, lack of light, knowledge, and clarity. A shadow is a region of occlusion where light is hindered or hidden. It is the archetype that represents the unconscious and hidden aspects of our personality that we do not recognize or repress. These aspects may include lower value character traits, irreconcilable tendencies, and negative emotions that do not match our ideal self image. The shadow is manifested through symbolic representations, such as the snake, the dragon, monsters, and demons, and can be both individual and collective. According to Jung, the shadow is not an enemy to be defeated, but rather a companion on the journey of human development. Integrating the shadow is crucial for well being and personal growth, as it allows us to consciously manage aspects of our personality that were previously unconscious and negative, achieve a more complete understanding of ourselves, and live more authentically and fully. According to the Delosians through Marie-José Andichou, nature has become a refuge for many of us. Great doubts about the rulers have taken over our minds. Everything they put into practice had the opposite effect of what they wanted. It is important to know that each passing day brings a little more collapse of the darkness that, despite everything, will try everything in the last bursts to continue having control over our lives. However, this is ending. The light energies that are sent from heavenly places have begun to transform the consciousness of human beings. All these beings from other non-loving planets will not be able to withstand the power of light that will emanate from human beings who will understand the true meaning of life. Together, you and we will make the new Earth a planet of peace, serenity, and light. This is the goal of what is happening now, to bring the best joy to the Earth and to human hearts. Do not be frightened by certain revelations that are being made and will be made more and more in certain sincere media. Have confidence in what is going to happen. It is the end of the shadow. It is the end of its manipulations. New paradigm. According to the Syrian archangels through Octavia Basile, you are a sovereign entity, which means that your existence does not depend on external factors. As you embrace this new independence, you will realize that you are the architect of your reality, including the physical form you inhabit. You are constantly creating your reality, but the 3D mindset sees continuity as a given, when in reality it is a narrative constructed to connect moments in time and wave a story. However, any reality can change in the blink of an eye. He- They consider that everything that does not serve the evolution of humankind can be discarded, and this also applies on a personal level. Recognize that you have the power to alter any story once you acknowledge its presence. Instead of seeking advice from others, look inward and consult your intuition, which knows what is best for you. Reality does not exist outside. Everything develops within. Create your reality consciously and responsibly, and you will manifest heaven on earth. Astrology. Solar storm. A solar radiation storm is subsiding that has blocked shortwave radio propagation in the Arctic between 15 and 30 MHz for the last 2 days. The event was caused by an explosion on the far side of the Sun. A new study published in the journal Nature postulates that the Earth's inner core has been showing down in relation to the planet's surface for a few years. Mercury and Venus enter Cancer on Monday, June 17. This shift fosters a deep emotional connection and sincere communication. The moon in Scorpio expands that mystical atmosphere, creating a time ripe for transformation and introspection. It is essential to maintain clarity and discernment in communication, especially with Mercury square Neptune. The Mayan New Year of the Blue Rhythmic Storm will begin on July 26th. This year's galactic frequency calls us to navigate with resilience through the storms of life within your inner ship of light. This year's storm theme directs us to activate our courage and connect directly to your own incarnation of source energy to unleash the subtle and bold lightning of your unique brilliance. This year's rhythmic tone advises evaluating the rhythm with which you live your life. See how you can create greater balance in your daily journey. The prophecy of the blue star Kachina is a hopeful revelation about the coming end of this civilization. The prophecy describes a celestial being called a blue star whose arrival would signal the beginning of the end of time. The blue star refers to a star spirit that will appear in the form of a blue star to indicate the beginning of a new world. The elders say, "Know that the river has its destiny. We must let go of the bank, push ourselves towards the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above the water. We are the ones we have been waiting for." According to Michael Snyder, our world witnesses apocalyptic events so frequently that many of us are beginning to become desensitized to it all. The number of armed conflicts in 2023 was the highest we have seen in a single year since the end of the Second World War. We also live in a time when major natural disasters are becoming more frequent. Breaking news. We are living in a unique moment in history according to Steve Biko. NASA talks about green germs about to invade us from outer space. In a sign that this is about to end, the White House movie set in Silicon Valley is for sale. Sanctions push the BRICS to create payment systems with gold. The Central Bank of China stops its acquisition of gold, which causes a decrease in the price of precious metals. Journalist Wang Xuanqing, promoter of the Me Too movement in China, sentenced to 5 years in prison. The G7 summit is being compared to the Last Supper. The G7 reaches an agreement to allocate frozen Russia assets to Ukraine. California's $20 minimum wage led to increases in fast food prices and lower customer traffic. We will soon live in a world with excess oil that we will not be able to use in its entirety, warns the International Energy Agency. Tucker Carlson breaks the internet with an interview with Alex Jones. They discuss how to stop the Third World Party, the battle between good and evil, as well as how to take humankind to the next level. A massive forest planting movement called Trees for the Future is taking root in Africa. Thousands of farmers are abandoning barren fields to create lush forest gardens that feed families, improve soil, and expand tree cover. This is part of the African Union's Great Green Wall initiative, an epic 5,000-mile barrier of vegetation that holds back the encroaching desert. According to The Guardian, this will be the largest natural structure of the planet. Europe. Europeans voted against the conflict in Ukraine. The German automobile fears retaliation from China to Brussels' tariff hike. Belgium's political landscape was shaken when Prime Minister Alexander De Croo announced his resignation following the election result. The George Clooney Foundation is suing journalists in Europe whose information is favorable to Russia. European populists tend to provoke unjustified fear in financial markets, and France is likely to follow that script, Alberto Gallo said. The euro falls sharply and risk premiums revive in Europe, and this would only be the beginning of what is to come. Analysts believe that volatility will prevail in the coming months. Risk premiums awaken and expand. The euro has started this week of electoral hangover with a severe headache. Spain. Inflation in Spain rises to 3.6% in May, driven by the cost of housing. Unemployment, precariousness, and housing behind the mental health problems of young people. Unanimous support of Congress for the decree law that extends the suspension of evictions until 2028. European justice recommends making long-term interim workers permanent to prevent the abuse of temporary employment. Spain will not transfer its Patriot missiles from Turkey to Ukraine. Electric grid begins the interconnection works between the peninsula and Ceuta. Endesa and Naturgy open a war for self-consumption with electricity at €0 for 3 years. Americas. The US sends a submarine to the coast of Cuba. Xochitl Galvez challenges the presidential election in Mexico before the Electoral Institute. The IMF approves a new disbursement for Argentina valued at €745 million. Inflation in Argentina slows to 4.2% in May. Another scandal in the Ministry of Human Capital of Argentina due to irregular hiring. Bolivia and Paraguay agree to trade in national currencies. Bolivia deploys soldiers at gas stations to control fuel smuggling. The removal of fuel subsidies threatened to spark protests in Ecuador. The popularity of the president of Peru plummets to 5% and marks a historical record of disapproval. China and Nicaragua inaugurate the first commercial maritime route. Economic sanctions have caused a rupture in the international financial system, according to Venezuela Deputy Roy Daza. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.